Sometimes all the inspiration I need for my art dolls is the materials I find. This silky soft bamboo roving in warm earthy teal and copper tones reminded me of autumn, and I knew exactly what I wanted to make with it. My name's Jo, by the way. I'm a full-time doll artist based on a narrowboat in Wales. I'm making a 22cm bead jointed doll using a white cotton base fabric stuffed with kapok. I keep the bamboo handy as I work on her so I can use the colours as a reference. This blend makes me think of autumn leaves contrasted against the water here on the canal. I'm shading around where the button eyes will be using Derwent Coloursoft pencils. I've chosen some rich dark browns to match the warm earthy tones. The blending pencil softens and deepens the shading. I've picked a light teal stripe for the legs. I could have gone with deep brown stripes, but I think this shade brings out the lighter greens in the bamboo mix, and I want to contrast the fabric with some chunky brown boots. I've decided on some darker teal blue cotton for the top part of the dress, so I'm using that for the arms. This will create the impression of long sleeves. The limbs are all jointed with silver tone metal beads. As always, I'm using Gutterman top stitch thread for the bead jointing. The hands are tiny and this part can be quite fiddly, but it looks so effective when it all comes together. I'm painting some chunky long boots in acrylic paints. I use System 3 acrylics as the pigments are all vegan friendly. I just keep mixing colours together until I get the shade I want. I know it will darken a little bit as it dries, so I make sure I allow for that. I've added some fabric medium to the paint. This just makes it a little bit more flexible and stops it bleeding into the fabric. I'm going to paint on some laces when this coat's dry. I've chosen some black wooden buttons for the eyes. I think the texture of the wood gives her a cosy traditional feel. I've drawn some creeping vines around them to frame the face using Derwent line maker pens. I just need to add a little shading to the mouth and then it's onto the dress. I fit the bodice directly to the doll and hand stitch a lot of it. I did glue the lace trim in place though. This ivory guipure lace is quite thick. I tried stitching it but I felt like it looked a bit untidy. Sometimes a bit of acid-free craft glue gives a much neater finish. I'll add a link to the one I use in the description. This teal blue lace is almost an exact match for the cotton I used to make the bodice. I wasn't sure at first if I was going to make a cotton skirt, but I like the contrast of the textures, so I'm going to use a double layer of the lace. I keep it really simple. It's just a single seam up the back and a running stitch around the waist to gather it all up. Then I'll stitch it to the doll to hold it in place. The arms are attached to the shoulders over the dress. I'm stitching through the bead I already attached to the top of the arm. I don't want to stitch this too tight. I want the arms to hang naturally and have a bit of movement so she can be posed in different ways. The knots and stitches are all hidden under the back of the dress. If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to hit the like button to let me know. You can also subscribe and turn on notifications if you want to make sure you don't miss the next one. Bamboo roving comes in a pack of loose fibres, all wound together in a continuous length. I just separate out a little at a time and then needle felt it to the head. Bamboo generally felts really well into the kapok. I use the Clover pen style tool which holds 3 needles close together. The felting needles I use are Heidi Feathers 38 gauge triangular needles. Heidi Feathers needles are all colour coded. These are the ones with the red tip. I fold each lock of hair in half and felt the looped end into the head until it holds securely. I'll keep adding more hair in overlapping rows until I cover the whole scalp. This bamboo has a lovely smooth texture. You can heat style bamboo, but I don't think this will need it. It just needs smoothing out with a brush. I'm sectioning a few strands at the front to give her a fringe, or bangs depending on where you live. I chop into the ends with a sharp pair of scissors until I get the right length. This is much easier than trying to cut straight across, and you get a far more natural finish. This little moon and stars charm is perfect for a choker necklace. I'm so pleased with how she's turned out. I tried a lot of different materials and techniques before I started making dolls like this one, and I made a lot of mistakes along the way. If you'd like to see some of the dolls that didn't turn out so well, watch this video next, and I'll see you next time. Bye!